You walk into your local supermarket for lunch, nothing fancy, just a normal meal deal, and guess what? Your card declined. The cashier does that sympathetic head tilt that somehow makes it worse, and you just leave. Walk out without the sandwich. Here's the thing nobody tells you about being broke. It's not the big stuff that breaks you. It's the small humiliations. The mental math you do before every purchase. The way you avoid going out because you can't afford a round. The 3 a.m. panic when you remember that direct debit is coming out tomorrow. Being broke is expensive, not just financially, though we'll get to that, but emotionally, mentally. It costs you sleep, dignity, and years of your life spent in low-grade panic. Everything you've been told about saving money is backwards. Being broke costs more than being rich. Let me show you what I mean. When you're broke, you can't buy in bulk, so you pay more per unit. You get hit with overdraft fees, late fees, interest fees. You can't afford the deposit on a cheaper flat, so you pay more rent. You can't afford a reliable car, so you pay more in repairs. You can't afford good shoes, so you buy cheap ones 3 times. You can't afford dental care, so you pay for emergency extractions later. The system charges you extra for not having money. Remember that £35 payment for an overdraft fees because you have gone £4 overdrawn. Think about that. The bank took £35 from someone who literally didn't have £4. That's not a broken system. That's a system working exactly as designed, to extract wealth from people who can least afford to lose it. And here's the part that makes me angry. All those personal finance influencers telling you to just save 10% have clearly never chosen between heating and eating. So let me tell you what actually works when you're starting from zero. Forget everything you've heard about building wealth. Your first goal isn't retirement, it's not property, it's not even financial independence. Your first goal is £100 in an account you don't touch. That's it, £100. Not because it's going to change your life, but because it's going to change your brain. Let me explain. When you have zero saved, every unexpected expense is a catastrophe. Your phone breaks, crisis, need new shoes, panic, extra shift gets cancelled, nightmare. You live in a permanent state of emergency, and that does something to how you think. Studies show that financial stress actually lowers your IQ, not permanently, but in the moment. Poverty makes you stupider because your brain is using all its processing power just managing the stress. But £100 in an account you don't touch. That's not an emergency fund, that's proof. Proof that you can do this. Proof that you have control. Proof that you're not just surviving, you're building something. And once you hit £100, something shifts. Because now you're not starting from zero anymore. You're starting from £100. And getting to £200 feels possible in a way that £100 never did. You're broke, so you feel ashamed. You feel ashamed, so you avoid looking at your bank balance. You avoid looking, so you don't know how bad it is. You don't know how bad it is, so you spend on autopilot. You spend on autopilot, so you stay broke. Repeat forever. The first step out of that spiral isn't saving money. It's looking, just look at the number. Every day, even if it makes you want to throw up. I'm serious. This is more important than any budget, any savings hack, any investment strategy. You can't fix what you won't face. Check your balance often, you will notice some days it went up. Most days it went down, but look anyway. And you know what happened? You will stop being surprised. And when you're not surprised, you can plan. And when you can plan, you can control. That's the secret. Control comes before discipline. You need to know where you are before you can get where you're going. Here's my actual system, the one that worked when nothing else did. Every time money comes in, wages, tips, birthday money, finding a tenner in an old coat, £5 goes in the untouchable account. Not 10%, not a percentage, £5. Here's why. Percentages don't work when you're broke. If you earn £100 and try to save 10%, you've got £10 saved and £90 to survive on. But bills don't scale. Rent is still rent. Food is still food. That £10 could be the difference between making it through the week or not. But £5, you'll never miss £5. It's a meal deal, a pint, a coffee and a pastry. You were going to waste it anyway. And here's the magic. £5 a week is £260 a year. £5 twice a week is £520. Add in birthday money, tips, random bits. You could have £600 to £700 saved in a year. That's 3 months of breathing room. That's your car repair fund. Your I can tell my boss to shove it fund. Your I don't have to borrow from my mum fund. £5 is small enough to be painless and large enough to compound into dignity. You know what's wild? We treat debt like it's normal, like it's just part of life. Everyone has credit card debt. Student loans are just how it works. Car finance is the smart way to do it. But here's what debt actually is. Debt is renting your life from someone else. When you owe money, a piece of your future belongs to them. Not metaphorically, literally. The hours you'll work next month, some of them are already spoken for. Getting in debt is as simple as buying that Christmas present. Nobody forced you. You just bought something you didn't need, clothes you wore twice, nights out you barely remembered. You traded years of your future for moments you have already forgotten. So here's the truth about debt. The path out isn't some clever strategy, it's rage. You have to get angry, not at yourself, at the debt, at the fact that you're working for free, at the chains you didn't realize you were wearing. That anger is fuel, and once you have it, you attack the debt like it insulted your mum. Instagram is a thief. It doesn't steal your money directly, it steals something more valuable, your contentment. Every time you scroll, you're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's showreel, and your brain can't tell the difference between reality and performance. You see someone in Monaco and think, why can't I afford that? But you don't see the credit card debt, the parents who paid, the fact they hate their job, that it's the only holiday they'll take this year, that they're miserable the other 51 weeks. You just see the sunset, and you feel like you're losing. Here is my advice: stop following anyone selling a lifestyle, anyone flexing. Instead, follow people who showed the struggle, the savings progress, the small wins, and something weird happened. You will stop feeling behind, because the race was fake. There is no behind. There's just your life, moving at its own pace, getting better in its own way. Comparison is the thief of joy, and the killer of savings. You want to know the real secret to getting good with money? It's not complicated. There's no hack, no secret investment strategy. It's just making today slightly better than yesterday. That's it. That's the whole thing. Not perfect, not impressive, just better. Today you have £2 more than yesterday. Better. Today you didn't buy something you don't need. Better. Today you looked at your balance. Better. Because here's what nobody tells you. Money is a game of inches. You're not going to wake up rich. You're not going to have a viral moment that changes everything. You're going to slowly, boringly, unglamorously build something over years. And that's good news, because it means you can't fail. You can only stop trying. I see people online flexing watches, cars, holidays. You know what the real flex is? Not caring when your mates are going out and you're staying in. Not needing to prove anything to anyone. Not checking your bank account with dread before every purchase. The real flex is waking up and knowing you're okay. That you've got 3 months of expenses saved, that if something breaks you can fix it, that you're not one missed payment away from disaster. Independence is the real wealth, not Lamborghinis, not designer clothes, not a house that's too big, just the quiet, boring, unsexy freedom of knowing you're going to be all right. Right, enough philosophy. Here's what you actually do. Open a separate savings account. Call it untouchable. Move £5 into it right now. Even if it means you've only got £5 less in your main account. Check your balance every morning for 7 days. Just look, don't judge, just look. Every time money comes in, £5 goes to untouchable, no exceptions. Write down every single thing you spend money on, everything, even the 80p protein bar. At the end of the month, find one thing to cut, just one. Get to £100 in untouchable, then £200, then £500. If you have debt, rage at it. Pay extra £10 a month if that's all you can do. Unfollow anyone on social media who makes you feel poor. That's it. No complex spreadsheets, no investment portfolios, no side hustles. Just £5 at a time, building something that's yours. That declined meal deal was 5 years ago, will be replaced by an £8,000 bank balance. Not millions, not enough to retire, but enough to sleep at night. And you know what? That £8,000 feels better than any purchase you ever made, because it's not just money, it's time, it's options, it's the ability to say no. It's proof that you are not just surviving anymore, you are building something. Someone who couldn't afford a £3.50 sandwich now have some savings and keep on growing. Not because you're smarter or more disciplined, but because you're willing to start, £5 at a time. That's all it takes. Small amounts, repeated forever, compounding into freedom. So here's my challenge. Put £5 somewhere safe right now, before you finish this video. Before you scroll to the next thing, just £5. And then tomorrow, look at it, and feel the smallest, quietest sense of pride that you did something today that future you will thank you for, because that's the real secret. Money isn't about math, it's about dignity, and you deserve that.